dang it, it's too high. Sorry about that, viewers. Had a little bit too high there. Hello, this is the Donovan Show. This is the first episode of the series. This is our first guest, my dad.
Hi.
It was short notice. No offense. Let's see. So today we're gonna talk about sports, current events, stuff like that. So yeah, let's start it. Okay, so in basketball, how do you feel about the off season right now?
Well, I think there's a lot of good moves made. I think Portland, they brought in a bunch of young guys that might help them, but they're still not going to be like they were last year. I think the Spurs made a great move by getting LaMarcus and keeping everybody they had. I think that Cleveland, with the addition of Love coming back, if they all stay healthy, they'll be really good. So it's going to be
the odds are in their favor.
I know the odds are in their favor, but I still expect Spurs and Golden State to battle it out in the West to play Cleveland, because Golden State shouldn't change, and the Spurs have gotten better adding LaMarcus at power forward. So
okay, now do you think it is smart for the Jazz to instead of trying to get the best players they can find at the current moment, they find young people who have high potential? Do you think that's smart, or do you think it's not very smart?
No, it's smart. They can build themselves up that way, work their way up through with the young players and build them into something. It might take them a little longer, like 4 or 5 years or 6 years, versus like instant bringing them in.
But it's a championship.
No, if it works, if they get better and they can make it to the finals, it's better. So I think that's a smart move.
You don't usually think of the Utah Jazz when you think championship. So now, how about now let's move on to football. Sorry, that was short. In football, do you how do you feel about how well Carson Palmer did? Do you think he can perform like he did last year? Because last year he was the second best quarterback rating-wise. So do you think he can perform like he did last year?
I do, and hopefully he can stay healthy. I actually like Carson. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. I just like the fact he can still throw deep and he's a good quarterback. But I hope that he stays healthy. But before he got hurt, Arizona was on a roll, and I think if he'd have stayed healthy, Arizona had a good chance in the playoffs to beat some people. But when he got hurt, they went to the second string, and then he got hurt and they had to go to third string, and that right there, hurt them. Yes. But yeah, I think he has a good chance to stay up there and do like he did last year.
Okay, so next up in the football, do you feel that Marcus Mariota will do well? Or do you think he'll start right away, or do you think he won't do very well?
Oh no, he'll start right off the bat. They didn't pick him as number 2 and pay him all this money right off the bat to have him sit on the bench. He's going to play right away. He'll have as good as he is and as good as he was at Oregon, he'll have his ups and downs. He'll be fine, but he's also going to realize this isn't Oregon, this isn't college, this is the pros. You're going to have guys coming after you that are fast, that can hit really hard, and you're not always going to be protected. So it'll be like welcome to the NFL rookie.
So you think he has to start learning how to drop back pass better than scrambling? Or, well, I guess he runs more. But do you think he's going to have to focus more on his drop back passing since he's in the NFL now?
He'll have to do, it depends on what the team sets up for him, but he'll probably have to do a little more, but they're going to want to lose that running ability because that's what makes him him. So he'll want to he can roll out to the left or right and be able to do what he needs to do. So
okay, so now in the Cleveland Cavaliers, some people do like Manziel. I, for one, do not. Do you think he's going to do well? Do you think he's going to start, or do you think he's not going to
For the
start?
Browns?
Yes. That's the team that he plays with. So
yeah, well, you said the Cavaliers. So.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of the other Cleveland team.
But yes, he won't start, and he shouldn't start. He's a knucklehead anyway with all the stuff that he's did off the field. He shouldn't be starting. I mean, he has no business even starting out there. I hope he gets his act together. I've never been that impressed with him in college. I just thought he lived on a bunch of hype, but I don't think he'll actually turn out to be great. I really don't.
Everybody knows the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you think it was smart for Russell Wilson to decide to pass it?
No. I do not think it was smart for Russell Wilson.
We're talking about the Super Bowl, just so you know,
anyway. You got a guy behind you called the Beast. He's not called that for anything.
Yeah.
And even against New England, he was averaging between 3 to 4 yards a carry, and he only needed 1 yard.
And he was one of the best running backs in the NFL. He was like in the top 10. So like,
you only needed 1 yard. Now you could have done that 2 or 3 times. If you didn't make it, then you go for a pass. Yes. But I would hand it off to the Beast every single time. Just give it to Lynch and let him try and score. They would have had their second Super Bowl and kept New England from getting another one. So That was a big, huge mistake right there.
Yes. So, time to go on to our politics segment part. So, with the presidential campaign, how do you feel about Donald Trump, aka Mr. Racist?
Donald Trump, well, you know, he wants to put up a fence and try and get electric fence and shock all the immigrants coming across. And
wait, you didn't just say immigrants, he said Mexicans.
No, I know, Mexicans.
So, like, maybe a Mexican shot his parents or something. I don't know, but...
Yeah, I have no clue, but I don't agree with that. He's made a lot of statements. He also just gave out the phone number of one of his competitors, too, their cell phone numbers over the air right in front of all these people, and the guy has to change his number now, so I don't agree with all the stuff Donald Trump's done, and I would never vote for him. I would never vote for him. He's not one of the candidates. Maybe Bobby Jindal out of Louisiana, maybe Jindal, maybe Jeb Bush. There's other ones I would look at, but there's 16 or 17 candidates now for the Republicans, and that's going to hurt them. They're going to have to narrow it down, and so that's...
Yeah, so with Bobby Jindal, I, for one, if I could vote, because I'm not old enough, but if I could vote, I wouldn't, really, if I could vote, I wouldn't, because nobody's really doing anything good. Jeb Bush doesn't really get the art of public speaking. If you've heard his presidential speeches, well, pre-presidential, Hillary Clinton, I just don't know, like, I'm not saying that woman can't be a president, I'm just saying that I don't know if she would be the right woman to be a president. But, also, that would make Bill the first lady, and that wouldn't be very good. But, another thing is that Donald Trump, well, you know, we just said he's Mr. Racist, that speaks for itself. Plus, he sees, well, like, he's, like, really racist, like, this country is, like, built on letting people in. That's what it was. Like, we started with, like, you know, people coming from England, and we let everybody come here. He wants to keep out the Mexicans. I don't know why he only wants to, like, what's his problem, but, like...
Yeah, I don't know why, because he's got some of them that clean his office building, so...
Yeah, and then
you know, why he wants to keep out the other ones.
Yeah, he... You know, there's just something wrong up in the head for him. But, plus his hair looks, like, messed up.
But he's a billionaire, and he can afford to do say what he wants, so... He can afford his own campaign, doesn't have to get any...
And then Bobby Jindal, if you see his things, he has a video camera, for some odd reason, stuck in a tree, where he's telling his kids that he's running for president. So, I don't know if that's exactly the best thing, because you could tell it's scripted how his kids acted. So, it's not very good how he did that. So, if I could vote, I probably wouldn't vote. That's what I'm just saying.
But then if you didn't vote and everybody else decides that too, then you might get the wrong person as president.
Well, if nobody else voted, what would they do? A Hunger Games?
Yeah, they'll have something to do it, and unfortunately Trump could buy his way in then probably.
So, anyway though, well that's not how the Hunger Games...
I know,
have you watched?
Yes, I have.
You watched the movies? Have you read the books?
No.
Okay. I was going to say I've read all... I guess there's like 4 of them. No, anyway though, so let's see, next thing, we're going to talk about the Olympics. So, on the Olympics, how do you feel about bowling being added into there, considering that it's more of just kind of like a Sunday family fun thing instead of like a real determined sport?
Well, maybe it'll get more people out bowling if they get it in the Olympics, so really bring it out, and maybe you'll get people that actually try it, go really hard. Maybe they'll make the Olympic teams.
True.
Maybe you can get the guys with the big bellies that don't have any chance in other sports. They could get out bowling and roll their 300 games and make it to the Olympics.
That's exactly what on At Midnight with Chris Hardwick, that's exactly what he said. He said finally something for fat Americans who want to play a sport.
And that's their sport,
besides
bowling.
Offensive linemen.
Right, and bowling's it, so they got a chance then.
Yes, now... Do you think Team USA basketball team will do well? I mean men's basketball.
Oh, I know, and yes, they should win it again. The two toughest teams that usually give them trouble every year, France and Spain, because they have enough NBA players on their own team, 2 or 3 each, that they're really tough teams. And those usually are the ones in the final against them, one of those 2 teams. So, yes, I think they'll win it again.
Okay. So, now, how about in track and field? Do you think we will do well in track and field?
We'll do well in some of the events, some of the field events now, like the long distance running, that's usually somebody from another country.
Oh yeah,
And
they are great at marathons.
And then if we get some of the, if Usain Bolt, somebody like that, we might not win that, but some of the field events, I think we'll be all right. We did pretty well in the long jump and triple jump. We've got some other guys I think will do pretty well, so I think we'll be all right in that.
Okay, so now how do you, well, I say how do you feel about all of them? So actually, what do you think about swimming? Like, since Michael Phelps said he came out of retirement to swim again, do you think
he's not going to win as many medals? Yeah, he's too old. He won't win as many medals.
Do you think the women's team will do well?
The women's team should do better with Missy Franklin.
Now, how about the men's team with Ryan Lochte and those other two guys?
Well, I don't know if Lochte's back, and I don't know with Phelps. He might win an event, maybe two, but he's not going to pull off what he did in the last Olympics. I don't really expect him to be able to do that.
You don't have to win everything, as long as we win at least one gold medal. But do you think we have a good chance to win quite a few gold medals, or do you think we'll kind of have more like a mix of both, like a lot of places?
Oh, I think we'll have a good chance to win a few gold medals, is what I think. So
now, what do you feel about if they added a sport? What sport would you add?
Golf, because look at our golf team. What we just did with the U.S. at the British Open, we had Zach Johnson, American, win it. Jordan Spieth was one of those that was trying to get into the playoffs with him. Okay. Dustin Johnson, a bunch of the Americans are doing well right now. So golf would be a great, if we could bring our pros in. Of course, other countries have great pros too, but I would love to see golf probably into the Olympics, in the Summer Olympics, just because it's an easier setup. You can move tournaments around and get in.
So for our last segment, we are running a little bit short on time. So last segment, we'll say a couple of things about golf. So do you think it was good that Zach Johnson won? And if there was somebody else who could win, who would it be? Yeah,
I was happy to see Zach win. He hadn't won for a while. I would have liked to have seen Jordan win so that he could have got his third major and had a chance to go for 4, which is hard to do, and accomplish in 1 year is about impossible. So I would have liked to have seen Jordan Spieth do it, but overall I'm pleased because Zach won it, and it's been a while since he's won one, so I was very happy for Zach.
Yes. And if somebody could have won it though, same thing, who would you want it to be? Would you want it to be then his brother Dustin, or would you rather have like Jordan Spieth?
That's not his brother.
It's not?
And
is it his cousin?
No, they're just another Johnson.
Oh.
But I would.
Johnson's a pretty common name.
But I would rather have had Jordan Spieth win. If it wouldn't have been Zach, I would want Jordan Spieth.
Okay. So so that's it for the regular show. I want to get to word about a couple of other series I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a couple of video game ones, where I will be playing a video game and the story mode for it, and I'll let you guys decide certain things I'll do on that game, and yeah, that's about it. And I want you to put on the comments which one you would like me to do out of these. So here are the options: NBA 2K15, Madden 15, Forza Motorsport, I think it's 4, but and Star Wars Battlefront 2. So those are your 4 options. If you want me to do another game, I can also do either Lego Marvel Superheroes or Lego Batman 3. So I just wanted to get the word out about that. I will try and do it daily during the summer, but in the fall, winter, and spring, since I'm in school, I will usually only do it about once a week. If I don't do it every day in the summer though, just wait until the other day. Don't just like not watch it again. So yeah, I just want to say that, and well, good night. Well, I guess good day, depending on if you're on the East Coast or West Coast.